Live. I'm gonna wait for a few people to join. Alright, let me see how this looks. Alright, I think that's all set. I'm gonna give people a few seconds to join. Oops, my phone decided to fall. Sorry for the disconnection, guys. We'll be getting started shortly. Give me a few moments. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Going to be doing a little bit of a review of my arm wrestling journey so far, what I got planned for next year, what I got coming up this weekend. I'm going to give another minute or two for people to join and sign up. Give me one more moment. All right, we're back on. Sorry for the disconnections, guys. I hope everyone's having a lovely evening. Can anybody see me, hear me? How is the audio? How's it going this evening, Thursday? Can you guys hear me? Can someone say something in the chat? Somebody let me know. How does that look? Should I try hopping on a different platform? What do you guys think? How is everything looking over here on your side of things, guys? And somebody in the chat, I know there's somebody viewing, right? Let me see if I can view it myself then. I love technology. Did I ever tell you guys that? Those who know me know I struggled greatly with this. Oh, yeah, J&J. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be going there. Wait, who's J&J personal training again? I completely forgot. But yeah, I'll be there. You guys can hear me? Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let me just get this squared away right here. There we are. There we are. Oop. Sorry about that. Just want to make sure the audio is good. All right. All right. So before I get started, I want to let you guys know there's a little QR code at the top. That is a link to the Knuckles Up 2 event in January 6th. Feel free to go ahead and scan that. Definitely want to promote them. There's a lot about the High Five Club that I would love to promote, but I'm going to get to that in a moment. Who else is going from the club? Quite a few, but I'm going to get to that as well. We got about 5 or 6 guys coming, give or take. So I'm sure we'll have somebody for you. Let's see. All right. So the year in review, or more so actually arm wrestling career in review, because I got a lot to cover and I haven't really spoken about much of this. I started in arm wrestling back in 2020, August, September. Chris Burton, the founder of the Grip and Hit crew of Long Island, came over and showed me a thing or two with his homemade table, and I learned the basics from him. And we grew from utilizing Arm Bet. It's where the Grip and Hit crew was formed and created with John Mert, Danny Byrne, Mario, Sean, and Jesse. We were meeting up fairly regularly, and not knowing exactly what to do, we linked up with people with the likes of Steve Black, and there's a guy named Eric Johansson over out east. Very knowledgeable people. They showed us the ropes. They showed us pretty much how to train properly to a certain degree. So I ended up ultimately hosting my own practices because the schedule just didn't work out for us to all be going out to one place. So I opened up the pit in the garage and had some regular practices there. Joined forces with an entity called Urban Arm Wrestling League that was all about community involvement, and they did a great job with that and got me and a lot of exposure very early on with Getty Images and really cool photography. I even featured my son. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Armpits. So after that, some time went on. We ended up, having a difference of how we want to do things. We parted ways. That's fine. Everybody evolves, right? Everybody ends up everybody ends up having a difference of opinion, and sometimes you got to part ways for the better of good. And I love what I've seen, what he's done, Jaron has done with the Urban Arm Wrestling League. That's a cool thing. Kudos to you. He actually is really getting arm wrestling exposed in different ways. So check him out. Check out his page. That leads me to my first barbecue event that I had. I did it with a collaboration with Paul Italia and Urban Arm Wrestling, and it kicked off beautifully. We got to invite a whole lot of people from all over the tri-state area, from Connecticut, Massachusetts, I think, upstate New York. And then what's it called? So where was I? Oh yeah, barbecue. We had the barbecue, people from all over. We got to meet this really cool individual. His name's Chris Laco. Laco. He's the one who actually gave me my nickname at one of Empire Arms tournaments, and I'll go into that in a little bit. But yeah, I got to meet the likes of Chris Laco. Got to meet Nick Stone, a lot of other people. Mike Aiello was there as well. The first barbecue, it's where Nick Stone and Mike Aiello were competing on a custom table that I had made from a friend of mine, and Nick Stone snapped the peg off of my table. Thankfully, the guy who built it was right there, and he was able to fix it fairly quickly. But still, it was kind of cool feat to watch someone rip a peg right off your table. Then let's see, where else did we go? Oh, through all the community efforts and all the different barbecues that I've done over the last few years, this is going to be the 4th year coming up. But through all that, I've created and founded a team called Primetime Pullers. And we're pretty much we started off as a ragtag bunch of arm wrestlers, and we started off as like a bunch of ragtag arm wrestlers that really did not know what to do. So we recruited a lot of help from the likes of Steve Black to give us good and ample coaching. We learned from seminars from people like Paul Lynn, Michelle Dugan from CNY Arms. We definitely have a great team of pullers that have congregated. Forgive me, I'm not really familiar or used to doing this type of YouTube thing, so bear with me. If it's a little painful at times, I'm sorry. I'll try to interact with the chat as much as possible, as long as they're being kind and amicable and not being, on a troll account. Throughout this all, I got connected with a really cool community called the 98%. The premise of it is that no matter where you are in your journey as an arm wrestler, you're being celebrated. And, it definitely gave me the sense of camaraderie that I was looking for, that I was longing for it. And, Ryan was the leader with Josh and Dave. They did open arms accept me. And, they helped me with a platform to get to the next level, give me the confidence that I needed to get the next level of support. When you feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself, you end up becoming a part of something bigger. And it's humbling because you get all different walks of life that, want to help you. And, as I said earlier, differences of opinion, how things are done and what focuses should be made upon, it is what it is. They want to do their thing, I do my thing. But I do have a lot of gratitude. I have a lot of thanks to give to the 98%, because that was really cool to get highlighted in that regard. It was awesome. Let's see, what else? I mentioned a few times Empire Arms. Empire Arms is a great organization from the state of New York by Mike Bisman and Steve Black. They've been running some cool tournaments. They just want to make a really nice experience for arm wrestlers. So check them out. I know I mentioned Paul Lynn. I can't forget Paul Lynn. He is actually probably the very most responsible puller in arm wrestling for my style of arm wrestling. He taught me something fairly early on, and I ran with it, and it became a bit of like a silver bullet, I guess you could say. My top roll is very strong, and it's all thanks to the coachings of Paul Lynn. Hey, what's up, Ivan? How's it going, man? Pleasure. Thank you for joining. I've learned now, actually, most recently, how to hook. And he gave me a couple of tips and, things. So anybody who needs a good coach, seek out Paul Lynn if he's available. I know he's a busy man. I mentioned CNY Arms. That's, Michelle Dugan and James Reed. They run a lot of tournaments in the Northeast area. They have created a really amazing environment for arm wrestlers to thrive. They've even opened up their home to me at one of their tournaments. So I do appreciate that. And then that leads us to the High Five Club. So the High Five Club, they're a fairly newer organization. And the minute they came into fruition, I thought they had a really cool setup. I loved the name. It was just, it clicked for me. And, connecting with Chris and Will, on different aspects of their journey with their club, I've been completely floored by the experience, because they've been supportive of me, supportive of my my team, and everybody that we connect with. They've just been very helpful, not just for arm wrestlers, on a personal level too. Now, throughout all of this, I can't forget to mention Poseo TV. Poseo TV, I met actually a couple of months into the sport of arm wrestling, and we hit it off right away. It was like a brother from another mother, and I got to meet him earlier this year, for the first time after like 2 years of connecting with him online, for the first time. And it was literally like meeting my long lost brother. It was amazing to hang out with him. He really showed me a great time in Puerto Rico. I actually felt like it was the first time going to Puerto Rico, even though I've gone to Puerto Rico a bunch of times previously. It was a really cool and eye-opening experience. So those are the entities that I have worked with, been on this journey of arm wrestling with, and owe a lot to, because without them, the success that I've had probably wouldn't be as substantial, wouldn't be as dramatic. The good, the bad, the ugly, and everywhere in between. I thank each and every one of you. I know I'm a bit of a tough individual to get along with, and I am I am definitely an acquired taste, if you may. But I'm here to stay. And this this last year has been awesome. I can't say it enough, because it's expensive to get out there. It's not cheap to travel and compete and deal with expenses. And I'm not a very wealthy individual. I try to find myself, I call myself wealthy in life aspects over the money. But unfortunately, that wealth in life doesn't pay the bills. So I had to reach out and ask for sponsorship for some help. I have a family to feed. I have a house to keep over my head. So in doing so, I've been able to connect with some really, really cool people, not just in New York, but outside of New York as well, that were interested in supporting not just me as an individual, but my team and the sport of arm wrestling. So first and foremost, I can't go any further without mentioning New York Cryogen Incorporated. This is Greg from New York Cryogen. This is the man who has helped create my recovery regimen. He made it so that I can train virtually without pain. I call him my pain extinguisher. Check out my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You'll see his links all over the place. Please go ahead, check him out, follow him, see what he's doing. He's going to transform everything relating recovery, rehabilitation from injuries, sports, surgery, you name it. Definitely check them out. He is going to be a major game changer. Now, where I kickstarted a good portion of my recovery practices started with a place called the Float Place. And it's called float therapy. It's sensory deprivation. You're laying in like a bath of water that's only 15 to 18 inches of water with over, I think, 1,500 pounds of Epsom salt to replicate the effects of what the Dead Sea is like. So you're literally floating above the water, or on the surface of the water rather, and you won't sink. You won't sink at all. And they give you some earplugs. They turn off the lights, and so you have no light, sound stimulation, no touch stimulation other than the water moving around, and you're left alone for 90 minutes just to relax. Now, a lot of people utilize float therapy for different purposes. I use it to rid my body of inflammation, because the Epsom salt has great benefits in that regard, but also to get the mind right. I created a mantra, if you may: visualize the pin, visualize the win. Through that, and I find that I shadow arm wrestle while I'm in my sessions. It's kind of fun, kind of different, but it's hard when you splash yourself and wake yourself up from that. I wanted to also shout out ISO Hit Arm Wrestling Trainer. They did an in-kind sponsorship last year, which is still helping me to this year. I utilize it in every aspect of my training. It is a spring that is mounted onto the table that's meant and designed to practice your hit and condition your hit and your hand and wrist for hits. I think that I definitely can utilize it more and utilize it a little differently than maybe others do, but it's amazing. Check them out. They're I have they're linked on my Instagram as well. Another sponsor that has been completely supportive from the beginning, I mentioned him earlier, Poseo TV, Manolo Sanchez, my brother from another mother, has been supportive, not just financially and not just spiritually, but just, as a friend, a genuine, authentic friend. And when you have an issue, this man will drop what he's doing just to help you out. So thank you. Thank you so much, Manolo. I really do appreciate you. And when I mention Manolo, I cannot not mention Troy Bouncefit. Troy, I met him fairly recently, I'd say within the last year and a half. This man has everything arm wrestling on his social medias. This man is a glorious, glorious, glorious source of arm wrestling content. Check out Troy Bouncefit on his Instagram page. He's a big time supporter of Primetime Pullers, of Nightmare, all things arm wrestling. Another one of my sponsors that helped me get to Virginia this year was Steve's Restorations and Hot Rods. He's located in Utica, New York. He usually hosts events like Underground New York Arm Wrestling, probably my favorite venue to date still. And I've been to a lot of different venues all around the nation and world. And I got to tell you, still one of my favorites. It's, they have on display hot rods and different cars that he's restored. There's an arm wrestling machine. It's a pool table as well. The guy himself has been super supportive of my arm wrestling career. He's got a really cool story. He actually has a show on, don't quote me on it, but I know it's called Wild Ride. Definitely check it out. Really cool show. Guy talks about different people's experiences and whatnot. Really supportive member of the arm wrestling community. So this year, this is a little bit of a different style of sponsorship. I didn't get this one for an arm wrestling event that I was competing at, but I was a vendor at. Resistance in Rotation. It is a workout bar. I don't have it right now with me, but I'll post a link to it in the chat. They just released that they are in production for their modular cub model, which is the one that I have. And it's pretty much, it's pronation. It is a bicep curl through pronation or supination with resistance added to it. So you're able to do this motion with weight and resistance simultaneously, and while maintaining your bicep integrity, your elbow integrity as well, and focusing on both heads of the muscle, which is really, really beneficial for arm wrestling. And I got a complimentary tour, trip, dinners, and cub from these guys. Go check them out. Resistance in Rotation. Definitely check them out. I'll make sure I have a link in that in my description later on. So as you all know, I've gone through a major weight loss journey. I know I'm sitting here at 154 pounds. And it wasn't easy to get here. A lot of dieting and exercise, but also the right supplements. So I actually found that there's a really good supplement store by my house called NutriWolf. They have 2 locations, one in Deer Park and one in Farmingdale. They really coached and guided me in the right proper supplements to take so that I'm maintaining, the right nutritional intake. I didn't know what I was putting into my body. I didn't understand the negatives at the time, and these guys really helped coach me. So check them out, NutriWolf. Another one of our sponsors that has helped sponsor our gift baskets that we have, our raffle baskets at the barbecue that we have every year. The Feel Good Factory, it's a CBD supply store. They have probably one of the largest lines of CBD products that are available. Check them out. Another donation from the barbecue raffle was Levi Knight's Fitness. He is a fitness coach. This guy will make you a stronger and better arm wrestler and more fit while doing so. Check it out. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention you guys earlier. Arm Gods. I was the United States' first official Arm Gods sponsored athlete. They helped send me to Olympia last year and gave me a little bit of enough money to help me get to Arnold's as well. So it was really cool to connect with Marcus Thompson and Paul Maiden. Check them out. They have a great production as well. When you mention Arm Gods, you've got to mention the usual suspects in close succession because they're always following everything YouTube. I hope to see them in this chat. I don't see anybody over here yet, but a couple of the members did contribute financially to getting me to out tournaments this last year. So thank you again. And Flash Thompson of Brothers in Arms, thank you for your contribution to get me to this year's tournaments and last year's tournament as well. So to give you guys a rundown as to the tournaments that I did go to last year so far was New Way Nationals, that was in New Jersey, Arnold's, that was in Ohio, Winter Blast in Philadelphia area, the Absolute Right Arm Championship in Puerto Rico, my summer kickoff barbecue, that was actually at Derek's house this year. Amazing time. We're going to do it again next year. Keystones, New Jersey sit-downs, dog fights with Kevin Paco is my one and only super match for this year because everybody else canceled on me. Hey, what's up, Tall Paul? And then I had Top Roll King Open, the Ottawa Open, and that's it. So far for this year. The coolest thing about this year's tournaments that I wanted to share, I stumbled into the lighter weight class. It was an accident. So I was training in 2022 for Mr. Olympia. I wanted to be at the 165 class because I didn't think that I was big enough for the 185 class. So I did a little bit of a weight cut and I overshot my goal. I ended up entering Olympia, I think, at like 158. And so, after talking to a couple people, they said, it's only 4 more pounds, keep going. So I did, and I challenged myself, and I made my total weight loss from 110 to 120 pounds in total, because I started at 270. So I have found that sitting at around 160, 165, I feel comfortable, but I could cut down to the 154s. So last couple months, I really put myself out there to get super matches and challenges. Some people who were very highly ranked, and I set up. They agreed to it. Everybody was all copacetic with it. And then just about 2 weeks prior to each of these matches, I have a last-minute cancellation. So all that training kind of goes down the drain a little bit, for super match training, because I view super matches and tournaments to be two different creatures and train them very differently. And talk about a letdown and talk about, discouragement. Now it's like, what's wrong with me? Am I doing something wrong? And, after talking to a couple people, Devin, Lorette, Manolo, and a few other people, you 54 people are scared. That's my only conclusion. So tomorrow, this weekend, will be my last time for a while, unless there's a big money match. So put your money where your mouth is. Tomorrow will be my last time at 154. I'm going to climb back up. I'm not sure exactly where. I've spoken with Paul Italia about this, and You know, that man has given me a lot of encouragement by way of my weight loss goals. He's helped me out tremendously. You know, if there's ever anybody who you need to speak to and need a good opinion on, Paul will help you. Tell him your goals, tell him your struggles, and he'll help you walk you through it. This man has helped me tremendously. I mean, he was the one who planted the seed that I was going to be a 176 to begin with when I was sitting at 190, or 154. So he planted the seed. I thank him for that. It was definitely a cool thing to experience this 154s, because I also, I'm looking at my list right now of all the tournaments that I went to, and every single one of them, with the exception of Arnold's, Winter Blast, and Keystones, I placed. So that tells me that I have what it takes to be at the top. I look forward to seeing where I go with the 176ers. I know it's a deeper class. I know there's a lot more people in it, because I was in the 176 class and I was doing all right there. So I'm going to be chilling 165, 176. I'm not sure exactly where my weight's going to land at this point, but stay tuned for next year. But tomorrow is going to be the Knuckles Up qualifier. I did have a super match there. It got canceled. It is what it is. I kind of feel bad for my my class, though, because I was trained up for a super match and the tournament this time around. So I'm going to save all that energy just for the tournament now. That being said, we have a couple other guys coming from the team. I know Andrew's joining us. Mike is, Chris, my coach, Chris Burton, the guy who introduced me. That's going to be cool to see him there. I know he's bringing his buddy Jeremy. I haven't gotten a first place in a pro class. Oh, that's not true, actually. No. I did win the open middle class right hand, the Top Roll King Open. That was the only one that I got first place. Other than that, I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't have any. Thank you, Paul. Let's see what else. We got Chris Reaney coming in, and let's see who else. I think there's a couple other guys coming down to the Knuckles Up qualifier. After the qualifier, though, you know, we're gonna head home. I'm gonna pretty much be on a seafood diet, because in January I have a super match at the King of Puerto Rico tournament. So it's going to be a super match event with a tournament attached to it afterwards. And the gentleman that I'm going to be facing is going to be John Hutchinson, or John Zilla, as they call him. He's a bigger dude. He's currently 176. I think he's like number 2 or 3 in Florida, or 4, or something like that. He's up there. So I'm going to be massing up and getting as strong as I possibly can. He's got a little less experience than I do, but he's killing it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. I know Manolo has his matchup coming up against but wait. Rewind. Pause. Other than Puerto Rico. We'll come back to Puerto Rico. I want to shout out another event that's happening this weekend on the other side of the country. Manolo Sanchez of Poseo TV is going to be out in Arizona competing against an unknown entity, Luke Lofer. I tried finding some information on him, couldn't get as much as I wanted. But I'm looking forward to seeing that match. But what's interesting about that match is what kickstarted that whole event. There's a match against Paul Talia versus Ryan Grandin. I know both of them. I've pulled both of them. I'm fairly acquainted with both their styles of arm wrestling, and I gotta say, unless you can crack through Paul Italia's arm, Ryan, you're going to be in trouble. You got to get through that arm. He's strong. And I mean, I know your hand and wrist is leveled up, so we'll see. Wish the best of luck to both of you, and nobody actually gets injured. So then back to Puerto Rico. Let's see. Oh, wait. I have seen like the full card. I just don't know who's versing who in completion. I do know that there's quite a few matches. There's quite a few matches that are happening, but I'm not entirely sure as to who's versing who. We will have that released. Why is that doing that? I don't know who this Dan is, but somebody please kick him out. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Some trolls in the chat having fun. Anyhow, that being said, let's see. So Puerto Rico, we got me versus John Hutchinson. Best of 5, right-handed. Because my goal is to get heavier, my left arm hasn't been competing, but I hope that changes. I hope that changes because I'm tired of not competing with it. I mean, it's still fairly strong, but I will say the way the pumpkin definitely has not skipped a day for me or a beat. Any questions from the chat? Let's see. Yeah, no, it definitely does suck to be bored if someone turns to trolling. You know, I actually found out. I was bored. It was, what, a decade ago? No, maybe 15 years ago, and I trolled 15 years ago, maybe. I don't know. I don't understand why people do it anymore as adults. You know, if you're a grown ass person, find yourself another hobby. So what does everyone else have going on this weekend? Talk to me, chat. Tell me. I see there's 7 of you watching. I don't know if it's combined on Facebook or YouTube. There's 5 on YouTube, 2 on Facebook. So tell me what you got going on this weekend. My natural walk around weight. That's a tough question because I don't know. I probably would say the most comfortable I feel is around 150, between 158 and 165, somewhere in that range. Cutting the 4 pounds, it's challenging. No, I haven't. Because you want to know something, Carolyn? I haven't been drinking. I don't drink. I stopped after that. I really wanted my weight loss and my health to really do well. And even like, once in a while, I'm still very careful about it. That's hysterical, Tall Paul. I did all that yesterday. No, don't want to do that. So I know Manolo, I think, is traveling right now as we speak. So I hope he has a safe travel and safe landing. He's with his buddy Javier. They are, yep. I as I said earlier in this, the 98 gave me a platform, a springboard of any of epic proportions. So of course I'm going to constantly support him. I remember where I come from. Travis Bajan's comeback. I mean, I did grow up with him in Virginia. That's he cheated me out of my Vitacell treatment, man. My Vitacell voucher. I would have gotten my left up and running much faster. But who can go up against him? You know who I'd like to see up against him? I want to see Nick Stone. He's doing well. I want to see Paul Cruz as well. I think that Paul and Nick both have very strong lefts. East Coast is the Beast Coast. Hell yeah. All right. So this is a little recap and review of my arm wrestling career. Go back and watch it. Check out the links below. You got the High Five Club, Knuckles Up qualifier tomorrow, this weekend, Saturday, at Signature Fitness in Belleville, New Jersey. Go ahead and check it out. And down below in the description, I got the link for Greg Brown TV, where they're going to be streaming the Ryan Grondin versus Paul Italia match and Manolo's match and all the other super matches that Greg Brown has expertly put together. I really look forward to possibly even going there myself one day. I know I'm probably going to be meeting him in March. I remember you saying. This is the last time I'm doing this on my phone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I didn't see his last podcast, Tall Paul. But yeah, no, I think Nick Stone or Paul Cruz, those are my local guys that I want to see take on, a left-handed dude. But what was the question? Oh yeah. PR King of the Table is gonna be bigger than East versus West in Turkey. It's gonna become bigger. It may not be at start, but I think it will be. I think it's gonna get blown up. It's definitely gonna have more energy at the tournament. I'll tell you that much. I mean, not for nothing. When you have Devin Lorette at your event, he's gonna carry almost all the energy for the entire event, right? But in Puerto Rico, every soul carries their own energy and then some. So I look forward to chilling and pulling in paradise again. I actually don't know if it's going to be on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. I will put up a post when I find out where they're going to live stream it, because they usually, I think, live stream on their Instagram page. But I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. So I am looking forward as well, at beyond Puerto Rico after the tournament. As I said, I'm going to be pulling the 76s. So Brandon, I'm coming for you. I'll see how I do against George. Probably get waxed, but it's worth a shot. But after that, I think I'm going to be taking February off, unless somebody wants a super match. And then March, I have a really amazing opportunity. I get to go to Mexico City with Manolo. We're going to be representing Team Puerto Rico in an NAAF tournament and North American Championship. I am excited. This is amazing. This will be my second international event to compete at. Third country that I will have pulled in beyond the United States. So, because I was on vacation last year to Italy, and I got to link up with an Italian arm wrestling group and got to train with them. It was amazing. It was so much fun. All right. Let's see. Oh, what do we got here? Why is that not working? Oh, there we go. No, James isn't running that one. It's Simon Barishola running it, and a couple of the other. I think the Reyes. I'm not sure actually who else is running it, but it is definitely a what's it called? It's not a James Reed event. I get to do it. I love it. I love it. I get to travel. I've been so blessed. You know, have the opportunities to travel, to have the opportunities to sponsorship. I mean, I want to talk about that, I guess, a little bit too. So I do see a lot of guys complaining that they don't have enough money, but you know, the people that I'm getting sponsorships from are actually people I was a customer for X amount of years. You know, somebody who I spent my money on their services or products, and I saw an opportunity to promote their services or products and asked for money in return. And they graciously said yes. So, well, this has been real. I enjoyed speaking with each and every one of you. I will definitely do a recap of this weekend's events. I'll be touching base with Manolo, I think on Monday. I think we're due to connect. He's better at this type of stuff and staying on task and, you know, keeping things buttoned up and tight. I definitely want to get better at it at some point, but it's not my priority. I actually don't like it. I just like Dan the Nightmare. Arnold has that name. I don't need to steal Arnold's name. I'm not trying to steal his thunder. Hey, listen, I am what I am, right? Oh, so somebody commented, yeah, these were the trophies that I wanted to highlight. This is a trophy I got from Puerto Rico, getting second place. This is the trophy I got just recently in Ottawa, the Bison. And then that is a trophy I got from Top Roll King Open. So the reason why I have some of my trophies, not all of them, so most of them are in my garage in the pit, but they're getting dusty in there. So I wanted the nice ones. I keep the nicest ones in here. Ice Mare. That's hysterical. It was you. Yeah, that's right. It was you who said, all right, chat, I ain't going to do a poll or anything, but I'm curious. Does anyone else here think that I look like Chuck Liddell? Do I look like Iceman? Hang on. I guess when I get the more shaven and this shaven, maybe, right? I guess come Saturday, I have to ask that. Gotta get my cut. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be going to get my float therapy, so that way I can get my mind right. All right, guys. It looks like... we still got 5 people watching. Never heard of Chuck. Interesting. You never heard of Chuck Liddell? You gotta look him up, Carolyn. No, float therapy is different. Float therapy is sensory deprivation. Cryotherapy is cold therapy. The best way to describe float therapy is to check out the float place. All right, guys. This has been real. It's been fun. I don't know if I'm going to be on another live later on to tomorrow or the next day. I will definitely put some post up about this weekend's experience. I look forward to see each and every one of you at the tournament. Remember, visualize the pin, visualize the win. Stay massive, everybody.